Hey everyone, I'm Steve Brown with It's My Railroad, and sometimes I get sidetracked. Hey, welcome to Sidetracked. This is the place we keep the stuff that doesn't exactly fit in with one of our project builds, but we want to share with you anyway. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, and then don't forget to push that little bell icon so you can catch future videos. Hey, just before we get rolling, a quick reminder, our 5K giveaway is just around the corner. As of the making of this video, we've got 4,900 subscribers on our way to 5,000. And at 5,000, we're going to be giving away $350 worth of gift certificates that our friends over at Midwest Model Railroad have hooked us up with. Now, this is going to be a raffle, and the directions and rules for entering that raffle are right down there in the description. So make sure you look down there so you don't miss out on any of the fun. So some folks have been asking me what kind of locomotive power and cars am I planning to run downstairs on the expansion that we're working on right now. And so here's the deal. I decided to make this quick little video, kind of give you a tour of some of the stuff I've acquired to run down there and maybe give you a little bit of philosophy as to why I've picked up this equipment. But the first thing is, I've got these Walthers 5-unit articulated double stack cars. They're really neat. They're die cast, they go together well, they've got some weight to them, they seem like a very quality product. There's some great detailing on them too. If you're into this sort of thing and you haven't, you might want to pick up one of these, by the way. I ended up buying 4 of these. That's 4 times 5, right? That's 20 basic cars. And I was going to hopefully run all of them at one time on a train, and it turns out that just 3 of them is about 7.5 feet long, and I can't justify making that work on the layout. So I'll probably just run a couple with a couple of deep well cars. In fact, I've bought 4 deep well cars from our friends over at Midwest Model Railroad that I should have here any day now, just to sort of give me something to play around with. But so I've got those cars, and so far I really like them. And then moving a little forward, what are we going to put on the cars? Well, I went and I bought me a whole bunch of these little containers here. I got one pack that was a pack of 24 for, they were sorted for, I don't know, it was a very inexpensive amount of money, whatever it was. I found that on eBay. I bought those, and in that line they got Genstar, they got Hapag Lloyd, they got Hanjin, and one other one. I forgot what the other one is. They got, the ITEL. They got ITEL containers too, okay? So I came with those 4 containers and a whole bunch of them. I got a whole bunch still over by the layout. So I got those to run. And then in addition to that, I went out and I got me some 53-foot containers. I got 6 of them total here, made by Concor. And the detail on them looks pretty good. I haven't really taken them out of the bag yet, but there's some really small top lift only. There's some good lettering on them. These are JB Hunt. These are the Pacer stack train. And then these 3 right here are Swift. You can't get enough Swift on your stack train. So, you know, we'll put I haven't opened them yet because I'm just trying to want to protect them. I'll stick those on top and maybe make for a really cool train. Then I also decided I'd see some refrigeration action. The only ones that I could find readily were made by Operator by Scale Trains. And these are CR England refrigerated cars, or refrigerated containers that will set up on top. It'll be a lot of fun, I hope. Anyway, so I got those. And then though, I wanted some 20-foot containers. So I was looking at various 20-foot containers, found some for a great price, and I bought them. And this is what I got. Okay, now if you'll remember the Sidetracked episode where I opened up the logging camp train, it was a kit, and I was like freaking out because I couldn't imagine that it wasn't actually built. I didn't know it was a kit. I learned my lesson from that, and so I've been looking closely at details before I buy stuff. The only place these ever said that they were a kit was actually way at the very, very bottom in an obscure thinger, like what's it made of, and it says laser cut something or other. Other than that, never says kit, never says assembly required anywhere. And so I might just send these off to somebody because they're wood, and I don't really think I want containers made out of wood. Anyway, again, be careful. You never know what you're going to get. So those are the containers we're going to run on there. Now, something to keep in mind, these aren't magnetized at all. They just sort of come apart. I know that they make magnetized ones, which I didn't really realize until after I got all these. So some kind of way I'm going to assemble them in such a way that they're not going to be falling off the train as it's running. If you guys have any ideas, you just put that down in the comments too. So now let's get into talking a little bit about the locomotives we're going to use. Every one of these locomotives, except one, came DCC ready, and I installed the decoder chip. One of them came DCC equipped with sound because I wanted to play around with that a little bit. But other than that, I chose DC units that I could put a chip in, and here's why. This stuff's already getting pretty expensive, and I don't know that I want to pay for sound, and it's actually a little cheaper for me to drop in a decoder than to buy one with a decoder already in it if you can find it. So anyway, there's that. Now, let me introduce you to the switching fleet. These are GP60 units. I got 3 M units and 1 B unit. Now, I bought these GP60s, A, because I needed some switchers, but B, I've actually seen GP60Ms running at a place I like to rail fan, so that's pretty cool. I can match reality right here on the layout. And to tell you the truth, I've been running them a little bit on the top deck. I really like them. They speed match very well. They're quiet, a lot of power, really great locomotives. I'm very happy with them. Okay, the next locomotive on the agenda is something that I'm pretty excited about. This one came already equipped DCC with sound because I figure I better have at least one with sound just so I can play around with it, right? So anyway, I bought this E8A right here with Santa Fe road markings on it. And one of the reasons I did is because I've got some passenger cars that I inherited from somebody that will just mesh nicely with that locomotive. It's of that era. They look really cool like that. And at some point, if I feel like it, I just want to run a passenger train around my loop and enjoy myself. So moving a little further into our fleet, let's talk about this beautiful Santa Fe locomotive I have right here. That is the SDP40F. And I bought it because it's got Santa Fe markings on it and it's an older locomotive. And what I see running real-time prototype around here is modern locomotives and some really old rust-bucketed Santa Fe power along with it. And so I kind of like that. It's kind of fun, and this gives me some variety in what I'm going to run on my layout. So I got that one. We're going to get that weathered up pretty good. Speaking of getting weathered up pretty good, I also have a Dash 8 that you're not going to see here because it's presently in the hands of Ralph Renzetti, the Mud Father. He's doing an amazing job of weathering it for me. I haven't never weathered a locomotive. I'd like to see it and see how he does it, and I don't think I'll be able to match his skill. I mean, look at the picture, right? That's an amazing looking locomotive. But at least gives me something, a template that I can follow. So we got that Dash 8. I've got 2 of these ES44Cs that I'm really excited about. They're both made by Kato. Haven't tried them yet because I don't have anything big enough to handle them on the layout yet. But that's the kind of power I see running locally. And at some point we'll sort of weather these a little bit, but they're newer. I don't want them to go too crazy on that. And then of course the big daddy of them all, I've got this ET44C4 locomotive. Now it's from Scale Train's Rivet Counter collection. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, Rivet Counter. I know that's funny coming from me on this channel, but I gotta tell you, this is some great power. It looks awesome. In real life, they're just totally awesome. And so that is the kind of power we're gonna be running on the second deck. Here's the function of these locomotives. 2 of the GP60Ms and the GP60B are gonna be responsible for taking loads from the terminal on the first deck up to Port Smith on the second deck and then bringing loads back down. It takes 3 of them to move 8 cars up a 5% grade. We've already tested that. That's what we're gonna have. Yes, I said 5% grade. Anyway, the other GP60M is designated for switching out the yard and the terminal we're gonna have down there, the freight terminal. So that takes care of going back and forth between there. Now, the E8A that I have right there, his job is gonna be to pull, like I said, passenger cars around occasionally when I want it. It's got sound on it, so if I want to hear a little train sound stuff, a horn and a bell, I can play with him. And then all the rest of the locomotives, the Dash 8, the SD, the ET44, ES44, etc. Those locomotives will be pulling these stack trains or unit trains around the layout with a couple of them either waiting on a siding with the train or actually in the engine terminal waiting to be worked on. So there you go. That's the motive power and the rolling stock we're going to be using on the second deck of the BSR. I told you that was going to be a quick video, and I try to be a man of my word. The reason I show this stuff to you again is because I am hoping that you will get better connected to what we're doing with the second deck expansion on Thursday morning, 6 o'clock on It's My Railroad. So anyway, hey, this is the kind of stuff we do here on Sidetracked, It's My Railroad, and Track Smack. So if you're into that kind of thing, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, and then make sure you like and share this video with somebody. Don't forget to get into the 5K giveaway raffle. Down in the description, you'll find ways to do that. And make sure that you connect with us with Facebook and Instagram during the middle of the week. And other than that, I really appreciate you being here. My name is Steve Brown. Rail on, my friends.